For the past 20 years, the Porsche Boxster has been a somewhat achievable entry point to iconic flat six Porsche sports car ownership. But now, with the 2016 718 Boxster, the 2.7 litre flat six engine has made way for a 2 litre turbocharged Boxer 4. Is it sacrilege or just a sign of the times? Let's find out. Be aware this isn't the first 4-pot Porsche. There's the 356, the 912, 914, 924, 944, and most recently the 968. Not forgetting, of course, the 1957 718 RSK Spider, from which the new Boxster gets its name. With 220 kilowatts or 300 horsepower, the 718's output is up significantly on the 195 kilowatts from the old 981 Boxster, and yet it weighs just 5 kilograms more. But the engine's not the only change. There's a more pronounced crease to the bonnet that accentuates those iconic Porsche arches, housing new headlamp units which feature these really cool LED 4-point running lamps. There's a new spoiler that angles back towards the wheel with deeper air dams and integrated LED indicators. On the side, there are new mirrors and bigger air intakes, but the biggest changes are at the rear. Now, gone is the pinched strip spoiler, replaced by this really nice blackout panel with integrated rear wing. And now you get these really cool deconstructed LED tail lamps. Now, the cabin is very typical Porsche, with a very driver-oriented seating position and that traditional triple pod instrument cluster. The new 7-inch predictive touchscreen is running the latest PCM software, and it's good, but far from perfect. Some of the interactions and usability points of the system can leave a lot to be desired. Plus, neither of these knobs say volume anywhere, and I'm always going for the wrong one. Apple CarPlay is a $1,000 option, and we've found it to be a little bit buggy at times, particularly with the phone connection, and frankly, we wouldn't bother. The climate control functions are a little bit fiddly to get to while on the move, and there really is still quite a lot going on with all of this. Now, around the cabin there's good storage and the materials are nice, if not all that special. Of course, being a Porsche, you can option in a bewildering array of carbon, Alcantara, leather and other materials, and I guess that's all part of the Porsche buying experience, but leaving it standard, well, you're kind of missing a few things and it does leave you a little bit cold. That said, the 718 is unmistakably a Porsche, and it's assuredly a Boxster, until you hear it idle. Now, this car has the optional sports exhaust, but the essence is basically the same. The 4-cylinder Boxer engine sounds like a cross between, well, a Subaru WRX and something like a souped-up Beetle. It's not bad, it's just different, and in a way it gives the Boxster a baseline that it's never really had before. And well, to be honest, I always like the sound of a WRX. Now, although the Boxster is a sports car, doesn't mean it has to be driven at the limit to be enjoyed. And we're barely doing 60 kilometers an hour at the moment, and it's still a hell of a lot of fun. Visibility is really good, although the rollover hoops do give you a rid of rear 3/4 blind spot. But despite the car being, well, completely relaxed, you can still feel a sense of balance and surety beneath you. Now, being a convertible, the roof on the Boxster can be raised and lowered while on the move of speeds of up to 50 kilometers an hour. You can even do it from the key fob as you walk up to the car if you like a little bit of theatre. Now, we're going to roll today, even though it's cold, with the top down because it's not raining, well, yet. And, you know, like this, it gives you a bit of a reason to go and get a nice jacket or a scarf or even some gloves. For many Boxster buyers out there, you'd be probably pretty happy with the review right now as it is. The 718, it looks good, it goes well, and it's every bit that statement of success and achievement that you really want your Porsche to be, the Porsche you've been striving for. But the 718's actually got a little trick up its sleeve, something that no other previous generation of base Boxster has, well, really had. It actually goes pretty quick. Now, it's no GT3, but man, this thing's pretty fun. Now check this out. It's part of the Sport Chrono package, which honestly is a must-have in any Porsche. As well as the cool chronograph clock on the dashboard and the ability to engage launch control, you get this really cool driver preference dial down on the steering wheel, which allows you to switch between a standard Sport Plus and an individual mode setting. but it's got this button in the middle that when you press it, puts the car into a sport response mode for a period of 20 seconds. So you get maximum sport response and maximum turbo boost pressure without having to engage the full Sport Plus mode, if that's your thing. It's a bit like a computer game, it's kind of cool. Oh, who cares about a WRX? This thing sounds awesome. Now Porsche claim a sub 5-second 0 to 100 time for the Boxster, which is faster than Mike Lowry's 964 Turbo in Bad Boys. Remember, this is not the S, this is the normal Boxster. That's pretty good for an entry-level sports car. Now, we would always spec the manual transmission because, well, you would, but the 7-speed PDK that we've got in this car is brilliantly quick. Coming through these bends, especially in Sport Plus, it's changing faster and more aggressively than my left hand ever could. And it's got the added bonus of being able to be left in drive for when you're just pottering about town. Now the mid-engine layout, it's just 30 centimeters behind me, by the way, gives a bit more than, well, just offering the convenience of 2 boots. 150 litres in the front, 130 litres in the back, by the way. What it does is it lowers the Boxster's centre of gravity. And what you get is this really, really solid and sure footing of the car that through these tight bends, we're not feeling any hint of understeer or oversteer. It's just tremendously well balanced. And it's certainly got more grip and more capability than my license could withstand, that's for sure. Now the steering, it lightens up on tighter lock, which is, well, it's very Porsche and takes a little bit of getting used to. But there's tremendous feel coming back through the wheel, through the road, and to me driving the car, that you know instinctively where it's going to go, and you're getting a really great read of the road beneath you. The brakes, 330mm at the front, 299mm at the back, do a pretty good job of pulling us up. There's a slower car in front of us. And the Boxster, it weighs under 1,400 kilos, so there's not that much car to move around, but you certainly don't doubt that it's going to stop you if it needs to. And you know what? Revving it right out, who cares if it sounds like an angry beetle? This thing sounds terrific. Well, the 2016 718 Boxster is different to what we know, but it doesn't make it a bad thing. Far from it. The Boxster is still the gateway sports Porsche, as it has been for the past 20 years. It's smart, kind of practical for a 2-seater, dynamically excellent, and certainly even in its base form, fast enough to keep a smile on your face. So sure, your neighbours may have thought you've picked up an old WRX and you've got to spend $20,000 to $30,000 on options to get it to where you want. But in a way, well, that's part of the Porsche experience, isn't it? That personalisation step required as part of the buying experience. Whatever the case, the Turbo Boxster, well, it's here to stay. Roll on the brave new world.